Good afternoon, baseball fans, and welcome to this edition of 2018 NCAA Mideast Regional Baseball here on ACTV. Robbie Alexander to take you through all the action this week, joined by my colleague, color commentator, and twin brother Cody Alexander. And for game number 2, we have a good one for you guys out there. It is a rematch of the NCAA championship game between the Wabash Little Giants and the College of Wooster fighting Scots. And Cody, what are the keys to winning this game and heading to the winner's bracket?
Well, for Wabash, they just need to continue the magic that they brought into their conference tournament. Not only did they defeat number 2 Wooster in back-to-back contests, they also beat number 24 ranked Denison in game 1 to break the then school record of 25 victories in a season. And for Wooster, well, they just need to get back to what they do best, and that is hit the baseball. A little bit of a stumble there in the conference tournament, but they have the rematch here that they want, and they're looking to get started on the right foot here this afternoon.
And on the mound for the Fighting Scots today, it's starting pitcher Chandler Dittman. They'll look to get the Fighting Scots off on a good note as Wooster finishes their warm-ups today. Throw down to second base by the catcher, Gale, means we are ready to begin game number 2 here at Nicolay Field in Adrian College, Michigan. Beautiful day for a baseball game. We saw game number 1. Shenandoah took that one by a score of 3-2. Cody, what do you have for the starting pitcher, Chandler Dittman?
Well, Dittman has 10 appearances on the year, and in an 8 games started, he is undefeated, brings a 7-0 record into today. 2 complete games and 56 2/3 innings pitched. He has 22 strikeouts, 8 walks, and a 2.06 ERA.
And that first pitch to the left fielder, Jared Wolfe, in there for strike number 1. Game 2 has just begun. Second pitch from Dittman, swung on, fouled back to the left side. Quickly in a hole now, 0-2. It will be Wolfe, Wojcinski, and Aldridge to lead things off for Wabash. That one falls outside the strike zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The offering from Dittman, swings at that one in the turf. That's going to bounce all the way to the Wabash dugout. And a leadoff man on board via the strikeout. Unconventional way to start this game, but is there really any other way for a game between these two teams to start?
Yeah, not a bad pitch by Dittman. A slow breaker in the turf. That one looks like it just skipped off the catcher's shin guard. That's Gale back there. Just an unlucky break for Wooster to start.
Now bring up the second baseman, Shawn Wojcinski. A look to move Wolfe over. First pitch, swings on that one. Pop up on the right side of the infield, but it's going to find its way out of play towards the Chad Meyer Memorial Garden for strike 1.
Wojcinski, a 345, 443, 482 slash line coming into this contest. He has 17 doubles, 3 triples, has also driven in 26 runs.
A warning throw over to first base keeps Wolfe honest. A little more mustard on this toss. Still safe at first.
Well, Wolfe leads Wabash in stolen bases. He's 11 for 13 this year in stolen base attempts.
He hits another one to the right side. This one's going to find its way towards the back 40 practice fields this time. 0-2 on Shawn Wojcinski. Dittman coming out and firing strikes early here. The 0-2 pitch. Slaps that one into right field, drifting towards foul territory, and again will find space outside of the stadium.
Wojcinski, a second-team All-NCAA selection. He leads the team with 49 runs scored so far.
The 0-2 pitch again. Wolfe off for second base. Ground ball to Whitworth Dukes. He'll have one play at first. And they say that he caught the ball. And even though Crum bobbles the throw, he'll pick it up. And it's a double play as Whitworth Dukes manages to pick it off the turf.
Yeah, just a nice clean catch on a sinking liner. Wolfe off on the pitch, so really nothing he could do there.
First pitch for the catcher Bryce Aldridge, low and outside for ball one. And after a miscue on the strikeout, a little bit of a luck double play there, resets the good juju. 1 ball and 1 strike on Bryce Aldridge. There are now 2 outs in the inning. Another off speed again, low and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
And Aldridge leads the team with a .371 batting average and 59 hits.
Now watch a fastball sail outside. He's up in the count now. 3 balls and 1 strike.
He also has a .482 on base percentage, 12 doubles, 3 triples, 3 home runs, and 45 runs driven in.
He sends a high pop-up foul off to the right side. No glass shattered. That's a good start as the parking lot is directly behind the stadium. Now in game number 1, a foul ball shattered one of the stadium lights. So we'll see if we can make it 2 for 2 this game as a pop-up on the left side of the infield. Whitworth Dukes calling for it, and he will take it for out number 3. The Little Giants get a man on board to start the inning, but a double play and a pop-out later, and it will end the threat. We head to the bottom of the first inning, still scoreless. Keep it tuned right here to NCAA Regional Baseball on ACTV. Bottom of the first inning here in NCAA Mid-East Regional Tournament. Game number 2 between Wabash and Wooster. And leading off for Wooster is the second baseman, Jake Sturzma. On the mound for the Little Giants, it's Brian Roberts.
The senior was a first-team All-North Coast Athletic Conference selection. He had 12 starts in 14 appearances, a 7-3 record, 3 complete games, 82 2/3 innings pitched. He gave up 29 runs, 21 of which were earned, 70 strikeouts to 25 walks, and he owns a .229 ERA.
He throws a first pitch bender in there for strike 1. This one runs in and hits Fling on that left bicep, and he will be aboard. Excuse me, Sturzma. He will be aboard with the leadoff hit by pitch. Up now is Jake Fling. My eyes gazed just a little too low on the score sheet. So Wooster, just like Wabash, starts their day with a man on first. Roberts will have to work from the stretch early. First pitch, pops up the bunt. It's gonna be a great catch by Aldridge. Sturzma able to get back to first, but somebody call ESPN because I think I just saw a web gem.
That was a heck of a play by the Wabash backstop. Full out dive. Sturzma alertly went back to the bag when he saw it go up in the air, but a heck of a play by Aldridge.
So 1 out now. That's going to bring up the shortstop, Michael Walensky. Walensky, first pitch, ball, 1-0. Roberts gets his sign from Aldridge. The pitch, low and outside. 2 balls in, no strikes. Lining up defensively for Wabash. Aldridge throwing the signs down behind the plate. Blevins over at first base. Rodzinski at second. Wanamueller holds the bag at third. Chavez at short. In the outfield left to right. Wolfe, Downing, and Jumonville. As Walensky fouls that one off on the left side. 2 balls in, 1 strike.
Well, the junior shortstop comes in with a .401 batting average, has scored 69 runs, and has driven in 41. He's also hit 6 out of the park.
That fastball misses just low. 3 balls in, 1 strike. As we said, a beautiful day for baseball. Soft breeze blowing in from right field. Didn't affect game 1 too much, but we'll see if that progresses throughout the day. Ground ball over to third base. Wanamueller to a knee. He'll have 1 at first, and Blevins can't handle the pick. Sturzma heads to third. Walensky will end up on second. And an error puts 2 men in scoring position with only 1 out.
It's a tough play up the line for the third baseman, Wanamueller. It looked like not too tough of a hop, but Blevins just unable to handle it.
So, Cody, would you give an error to Wanamueller or would you give it to Blevins?
I would probably give it to Wanamueller. Anytime you throw the ball in the dirt, you're probably going to get a throwing error, but just a tough break for the Little Giants.
So that will bring up the designated hitter, Dan Harwood. Chance to give Wooster the early lead. First pitch from Roberts. Has him fooled with that off speed. No balls and 1 strike.
And Harwood, a terrific season so far. .388 on the year. Has driven in 68 runs. 14 home runs on the year. Would love to get into one right here, and he hits a hard one through the right side hold. That's a base hit. Sturzma's going to score. Walensky will also score easily. 2 RBI single for Dan Harwood and give the Fighting Scots an early 2-0 advantage. Well, we saw it in the first game with Marietta. They made an error in the field, ended up giving up a run that was essentially the deciding run in that game. And we see it here again in the first inning of this contest. Wabash making an error, and they now find themselves in a 2-run hole. In the right-hander's batter's box now is the first baseman, Garrett Crum, looking to keep it going. Still only 1 out. It's a first pitch strike, a bender in there. The offering from Roberts. Another bender, another strike. And Crum quickly in the hole, 0-2. The pitch.
That one hangs just a bit outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, it's always a big game when you're in the NCAA regionals, but these two teams have some history as Roberts brushes off Crum with a strikeout, and they're now 2 down. Both of them in the ODAC league. Or excuse me, the NCAC. I knew that wasn't right when I said it. Facing each other in the championship game. Wabash took it. That's how they ended up here. Wooster had to get the at-large bid, so there's definitely some bad blood between these two teams.
Well, Wooster went in as a number 2 ranked team. That was a nationally number 2 spot. And they ended up dropping back-to-back contests to Wabash, who was the 4 seed in the NCAC tournament. Also had a 6-game losing streak going into that tournament. So Wabash definitely riding a high tide coming into this regional.
Torno, it's a little bloop into left field. That's going to fall for a base hit. And Harwood will end up on third base. Double for Drew Torno. That looked like a fly ball, third out off the bat, but it finds some real estate out there.
Wolfe playing deep out in left field. That one just drops down in front of him. And Torno just showing off the wheels on that one.
So 2 outs, 2 men in scoring position. That's the catcher Dan Gale up to bat. First pitch misses outside. 1 ball and no strikes. The 1-0 is a fly ball into center field. Downing a few steps in and will make the catch as the Wooster threat is ended, but not before they tack on 2 to take an early 2-0 lead. We'll see how Wabash responds when we come back in the top of the second. Keep it tuned right here to ACTV. Top of the second inning here in game number 2 of the Mideast Regional. 2-0 Wooster advantage. It's the 4, 5, 6 part of the order due up for Wabash. A first pitch fastball from Dittman outside for ball 1. The right fielder, Andrew Jumonville. Another fastball. This time it finds the outer black. 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1. High chopper over to third base. Whitworth Duke's routine for out number 1. So Dittman and the Fighting Scots off to a hot start here. Out now for the Little Giants, first baseman Jackson Blevins. Watch a first pitch in there for strike one. One falls just below the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pitch from Dittman. Another high chopper. This one to the shortstop, Wolanski. He'll range to his left for out number 2. Well, lining up defensively for the Fighting Scots. Gale thrown down the signs behind the dish. Crum at first base. Sturzma at second. Whitworth Dukes holding down the bag at third. Wolanski at short. And in the outfield, left to right, it's Strasbow, Fling, and Torno. And that one ripped down the right field line, but foul off the bat of the designated hitter, Matthew Ane. That one so hard, it rolled all the way to the fence off the hop. And we'll have a little bit of stoppage in play.
I think we should take this time to mention that with the run scored in the first inning by Wolanski, he becomes the second known Division III player to have 200 hits, 200 runs, and 150 RBI before the end of his junior year. He entered the regional with 218 career hits, 199 career runs, and 151 career RBI.
So a big congratulations there to Michael Wolanski, and here's hoping that you continue your success into your senior year. Ane even in his count now. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pitch from Chandler Dittman. That one fouled into the netting. Count stays the same, 2-2.
Wabash is facing something they haven't in 3 games. They did not trail at all during the NCAA tournament, so some new territory that they're facing in regards to what they've seen the last week or so.
We'll have to see how this team responds. 2-0 lead. A lot of game left to play, only the second inning, and a 2-0 lead is not huge, but in the NCAA regionals, it might just be enough, as there's a hard hit ground ball past the diving Sturzma into right field. 2-out single for Matthew Ane. That's a good way to start cutting into a lead. So it's still 2 outs. That will bring up the shortstop, Eric Chavez. Another lefty player to the plate. And he'll be fooled on that off-speed pitch. No balls and 1 strike.
Chavez brings a .309 batting average into the game. He's driven in 21 and scored 22 himself.
The 0-1. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Whitworth Dukes playing even with the grass right now. And a warning throw over to first base. Keeps him honest. One from Dittman. Low and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Should he keep the inning alive, that'd bring up the center fielder, Tyler Downing. 2-1 pitch to Chavez. It's a fly ball into center field. That's going to fall between Fling and Strasbow. And Wabash now has something cooking. 2 on with 2 outs.
Just a pitch on the outer part of the plate that Chavez stays inside, hangs up long enough, but was slicing away from Fling. And 2-out rally now for the Little Giants.
Yeah, not quite a line drive, but at the same time, not quite a fly ball either. Is there even a word for that? I know you know a lot of baseball vernacular.
I mean, sometimes you call it a flare, but it was hit a little harder than what a flare would be.
A unique one there as Downing puts that one down the left field line. That's going to be a base hit. Ane's going to score easily. Chavez headed to third. 2-out RBI double for Tyler Downing. And the Little Giants cut into the lead. It's now 2-1.
There's another pitch on the outside part of the plate. Downing gets around that ball, but just laces it down into the left field corner.
So that will bring up the number 9 hitter, Henry Ronemuller, the third baseman. Potential tying run 90 feet away. First pitch, a strike at the knees, 0-1. Wooster infield playing back, looking for that final out. Oh, one from Dittman. That one fouled into the netting. Did we get a flinch in the booth? No flinch here. Sean Kane is saying Darian flinch. Do we trust him? Final call is yours, Cody.
I can't call what I didn't see.
So no flinches. And as you go through the tournament, that game will be referred to often as Ronemuller can't hold up on the check swing. He goes down swinging, but not before Wabash gets back a run. Now 2-1 Worcester lead. We'll see how they respond coming back in the bottom of the second inning. It's 8-9-1 due up. Make sure you keep it tuned right here to ACTV. Bottom of the second inning, 2-1 Worcester lead. It's the left fielder Nick Strasbaugh to lead things off. Brian Roberts gets back to work. First pitch to Strasbaugh in the turf for ball one. When we say in the turf, Nicolay Field, an all-turf field, everything from infield to outfield, and new this year, a fiberglass turf mound as that one misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes on Strasbaugh. And if you think it looks weird on screen, trust us, it looks even weirder up close, but pitchers seem to love it. As last year when Adrian College went to their regional in Wisconsin, they also had the same fiberglass turf mound. A little hesitant at first, but when they came back home afterwards, all the pitching staff was asking Coach Rainey if they could have one of their own, and luckily athletic department had enough in the budget, so new this year is that mound, and it looks like pretty much everybody who's pitched on it, from college pitchers even to the few high school games we've had here, are really in love with that mound.
And the big thing is that you don't have a hole that forms that you have to constantly fix. It's a consistent landing point, which all pitchers love.
Fly ball to the center fielder Downing for out number 1. And it looks like both Roberts and Dittman having some fun with the mound out there. A couple runs given up for Roberts, 1 for Dittman, but they're still not throwing bad pitches today so far. Up now for Wooster is the third baseman, Harry Whitworth Dukes, as he sends a flare into center field, and it's a one-out base hit for the Fighting Scots. We'll head back to the top of the Wooster lineup. It's the second baseman, Jake Sturzma, up to bat. Hit by a pitch his first time up. Would later score that first run of the ball game. First pitch from Roberts, outside Black for strike one.
Well, really no surprise with the offensive production we've seen from the Fighting Scots so far this game. They bring a .356 batting average into this contest, and that's not a singular player. That is the team batting average. They also have a .440 on base percentage and a .560 slugging percentage. They've scored 473 runs in 44 games, which equates to about 11 runs per game. And Robbie is shaking his head.
Without words. I was the one that looked all this up, and I still cannot believe it. They also have 54 home runs, which is a pretty hefty number for any college team, let alone a Division III school. 1-2 is the count on Jake Sturzma. Runner on first base, one out. The pitch from Roberts. Curveball hangs. That one's down the line. And it's going to be just foul as it bangs probably less than a foot to the left of the foul pole.
Yeah, just a tick out in front. Did not have the height, but that certainly would have given him at least two.
1-2 pitch. That one fouled into the netting above us. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. But where Dukes, moderate lead at first base, the pitch. And he slaps that one into right field. That's going to fall in front of Jumonville for a base hit. Sturzma goes with the curveball and puts runners on first and second with one out. It's a case where you pop the booty and just let the hands glide the bat.
Never heard it put that way, but I guess I'll leave the words to you in that instance.
I mean, that was my specialty in high school ball, so I think I can say that. High fly ball into right field. That's going to be a foul off the bat of center fielder Jake Fling. Popped out to the catcher on a bunt attempt his first time up, on the highlight reel catch, I should add, by Aldridge. Roberts will step off the mound and recompose himself. Working that left side of the rubber. Oh, 1 to Fling. In there. No balls and 2 strikes. Wooster dugout thought it was a bit high. The home plate umpire, Lou Cammermere, I'm going to get that by the end of the game, called it a strike. The 0-2 outside is Aldridge. Slide to a knee on that one. 1-2. Cammermeyer. Upon second look, I'm going to say that it's Cammermeyer.
That looks about right from where I'm at.
And he goes fishing, but nothing in the pond. They're now 2 down.
It's a nice, look kind of like a slider, starts it off down and away. And just breaks right off the plate. Nice pitch there by Roberts.
So that'll bring up the shortstop, Michael Wilansky. Reached on an error his first time up, would come around to score. Looking to add a couple more runs to the Wooster lead, and he'll take a first pitch strike.
Wolanski, a first team selection for the all NCAC team.
He hits that one past the diving Wanamueller into left field. Whitworth Dukes is going to score easily. It's an RBI single for Wolanski and a 3-1 Fighting Scots lead here in the second.
Just another outside pitch that the batter gets around on. That time it was Wolanski who pulled it, but he sneaks it right through that left side hole again. It's now 3-1.
So runners on first and second, still 2 out. And it's the designated hitter Dan Harwood up to bat. He hit that 2 RBI single his first time up. He takes a big cut there but can't connect. It's strike 1. Sturzma on second base. Wolanski on first. Pitch from Roberts. Low and outside, 1-1. Breeze picking up now, blowing from right to left. Here's the 1-1 from Roberts. And the turf again, 2 balls, 1 strike.
The sophomore Harwood, also a first team all NCAC selection.
The 2-1. High pop up on the left side of the infield. It's going to find its way off towards 223. A highway that runs across Nicolay Field and the rest of the Adrian College Athletic Complex.
Well, Harwood starts with his hands low, and if you look, Robbie, he chokes up even without 2 strikes. That gives him better bat control. A lot of youngsters against choking up, but some of the better hitters in baseball history have choked up. Barry Bonds always choked up about 2 inches on the bat. And with Harwood's numbers this year, he proves that choking up on the bat does not diminish your power. 14 home runs, like we said.
He also has that back foot right on the batter's box line, almost creeping towards home plate. His torso is hovering over the dish. I know with Adrian Bulldogs third baseman Dugan Darnell, he's also very close, but I think Harwood is the closest we've seen to being on top of the plate. Full count, 3-2. The payoff pitch from Roberts, and he swings through that curveball for strike 3. Wooster leaves 2 men on, but they get an extra run to make it a 3-1 ball game. And when we come back, it's the top of the order due up for Wabash. 1, 2, 3, Wolfe, Wojcinski, and Aldridge. We'll see what they can do. Keep it tuned right here to ACTV. Jared Wolfe set to lead things off in the top of the third inning. 3-1 Wooster lead. As Chandler Dittman toes the rubber and looks to get back to work. The Little Giants scored 1 run the last inning to cut the lead to 1. They now trail by 2 once again. A first pitch from Dittman inside for ball 1. Another one runs just inside, 2-0. Wolfe struck out to start the game, but the pass ball would put him on first. Another one low. 3 balls and no strikes. That one across the knees. The standard 3-0 fastball makes it 3-1. Next pitch from Dittman. He swings on that one, sends it into left field. Straussbaugh right there to make the catch for out 1. So that'll bring up the second baseman, Sean Roginski, lined into that double play his first time up. And a nice pick off the turf by Whitworth Dukes. First pitch from Dittman. He fouls that one off the roof, covering the Wabash fans. 0-1.
A nice showing of support for both teams. Wooster and Wabash. A lot of fans here today. If you look out on the hill, a lot of red for Wabash.
And that hill out in center field, a prime piece of real estate. This is during the spring semester. You'll see a lot of Adrian College students out there. There's even something called Couch Day, where the week before finals, they all take their couch out there, have a good time watching a baseball game. So we'll see if anybody hauls a couch out there this week.
I'm going to guess no.
Hey, you never know. Baseball fans are very creative. And once they get the view, they might want a little more comfort. Bender just misses inside. The Wooster bench thought they had strike 3. Instead, it's 2-2.
Well, with the forecast for this week, somebody might want to bring a kiddie pool out there.
We've seen umbrellas, but kiddie pool would be stepping it up. There's another one through the right side hole. A base hit for Sean Roginski in the second inning in a row where we've seen somebody just slap it on an outside breaking ball.
Yeah, and a nice job of going the other way, especially with the second baseman Sturzma shading up the middle. Does a nice job of exploiting that hole.
So 1 out, 1 on. It's the catcher Bryce Aldridge up to bat. Fourth hit of the day for the Little Giants.
Aldridge was named the NCAA tournament MVP after batting .583 in his 3 games with 2 RBI and 4 runs scored.
He grounds that one to Whitworth Dukes. He'll throw on the second for 1. Relay, got him! Inning-ending double play for Wooster. We'll head to the bottom of the 3rd inning, still 3-1. And don't you touch that clicker, because we'll be right back with more NCAA regional baseball here on ACTV. Throw down to second base from Aldridge means we are set to begin the bottom of the third inning. 3-1 Wooster lead. As the first baseman Garrett Crum set to lead things off. Struck out his first time up. So Brian Roberts gets back to work. First pitch to Crum, outside, 1-0.
Crum a .370 batting average coming into today. He's driven in 65 runs and scored 44.
He hits that one right back up the box. Leadoff single for Garrett Crum. And Wooster continues to pound the ball. Sixth hit of the afternoon for the Fighting Scots, and that will bring up the right fielder, Drew Torno, who doubled his first time up. And we're so busy talking about fiberglass mounds, we never got a chance to give Torno stats. He lines a hard foul down the first base line.
Well, Torno, like every other Wooster, it seems like batting above 300. He brings a .314 average into this contest. Has driven in 39 runs and scored 45. Also has 11 doubles, 5 triples, and 7 round trippers.
The 0-1 pitch from Roberts. Fastball that hangs high, 1-1. Just misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Another ball. This one in the turf. 3 balls and 1 strike on Drew Torno. Pitch from Roberts. Instead, a pickoff move to first. Close. But Crum back in time. And that one just misses low again. So Torno draws the walk. 2 men on with no outs here in the top of the third. Excuse me, bottom of the third. A quick mound visit. And Cody, early in the ball game, what do you think they're talking about out there?
Well, he hasn't done too bad of a job out there, Roberts. With Wooster, and the way they hit the ball, he really has to work the corners, which he's done. Just hasn't been hitting his spots like he should. Some of them missing. That time puts a runner on via the base on balls. So probably just telling him to relax, try to hit his corners, try to get some more innings out of him. Again, game 1, you don't want to go to your bullpen too soon, especially if you head to the elimination bracket.
So we'll reset. We'll see if Brian Roberts can work his way out of this jam with no outs. 2 men on. And up to bat is the catcher Dan Gale, who flew out to center field his first time up. He shows a bunt, pops it up, and get further enough away to fall for strike 1. Corners drawn in against the bunt. That's Blevins and Wanamuller. Wojcinski We're at second base playing even with the bag. The 0-1, another bunt attempt. This one again foul to the backstop. Gale in a hole, 0-2.
It's a tough pitch down and away. But Gale, in both bunt attempts so far, dropping that bat head instead of giving with the knees. Luckily, that one wasn't as extreme as the first one. As we can see, Aldridge behind the dish. He's very athletic, can get out of his crouch and get that pop-up.
Corner's still playing in. The 0-2, curveball that hangs high, 1-2. Pitch from Roberts. Inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2. There's a ground ball to the shortstop. Chavez will go to third base and get the out. He'll hold on to the ball from there. So lead runner is going back to the bench, but still men on first and second for 1 out now in the inning.
A nice play by Chavez too, deciding to go get the lead runner. Double play still in order.
So that will bring up the left fielder, Nick Strasbaugh. Flew out to center his first time up. I'll watch a fastball hang high, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball at the knees, 1 ball, 1 strike. Another fastball. This one misses just a little bit inside, and it's 2-1. Big lead at first by Gale. The pitch from Roberts, low and outside, 3-1. Suddenly having trouble finding the strike zone.
Trying to hit that low outside corner. Hopefully Strasbaugh rolls over on one, but his control just hasn't been where he wants it so far today.
6 hits surrendered so far. Strasbaugh looking to make it number 7. The 3-1 pitch. There's a ground ball through the left side hole, and it was big for a base hit. Crum's going to come in to score. Excuse me, that was Torno. It's an RBI single for Strasbaugh, make it 4-1 Wooster.
And it looked like Roberts still trying to hit that outer part of the plate. That one low, but over the middle of the plate. And Strasbaugh gets on top of that one, but just finds the hole on the left side.
They'll do an appeal to third base, but third base umpire Lyle Travis says that he hit the bag, so it is still 4-1. I'll bring up the third baseman Harry Whitworth Dukes. Singled his first time up, would later come around to score. He watches a fastball hit the inner black for strike 1. Still men on first and second. Here's the offering from Roberts. A bender that he can't snap off. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1. And that one hits him square between the numbers. Hit by pitch loads the bases for the Fighting Scots with one out. And what's worse for Wabash, they now have to face the top of the order, starting with second baseman Jake Sturzma, who's 1 for 1 with a single and a hit by pitch. Looking to turn a double play right here. First pitch to Sturzma, fastball just above the letters. It's 1 ball and no strike. Corners again pulled in from Wabash. That one finds the strike zone. 1-1. Gale on third base, Strasbaugh on second, Whitworth Dukes on first. The 1-1. There's a high pop-up, but it's going to find its way to the parking lot. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Action starting to brew in the pen for the Little Giants. One-two pitch from Roberts. Another bender that he can't snap off. 2-2. Suddenly having trouble getting those curveballs in. Pitch to Sturzma, and he goes fishing. There's no bass in the pond. Strikeout. They're now 2 down.
Finally able to hit that zone down and away with a nice firm fastball.
Fourth strikeout of the day for Roberts, and that'll bring up Jake Fling, who takes the ball 1-0. Roberts trying to work out of this jam. Bases loaded, 2 outs. And that one just a little out of the strike zone low. 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0 from Roberts. High pop-up, shallow left field. Wolfe calling everybody off, and he will make the catch for out number 3. The Little Giants load the bases but can't bring anybody in, and we'll head to the bottom. Excuse me. The Fighting Scots load the bases but can't bring anybody in. That's the second time today I've done that. We'll head to the top of the 4th. Still a 4-1 Wooster lead, and we'll be right back here on ACTV. Welcome back to Game 2 of the NCAA Mideast Regional Tournament. If you're just joining us, Robbie Alexander joined by my colleague Cody Alexander. Wooster holds on to a 4-1 lead. 4, 5, 6 due up for the Little Giants, starting with the right fielder, Andrew Jumonville. And first pitch strike from Dittman makes it 0-1. There's a ground ball over to the second baseman, Sturzma. Tough bobble, and Jumonville will beat the throw. Miscue there for the Fighting Scots, and there's a man on with nobody out.
Ball staying down until the last second and just jumps up on Sturzma. It's like a play that he should have made. They'll give him the error.
So that'll bring up the first baseman, Jackson Blevins. Grounded out to shortstop his first time up. He sends a fly ball into right field. Sturzma and Torno both chasing. It'll be Torno who will come in to make the catch for out number 1. Up now is the designated hitter, Matthew Ane. Single his first time up, would later come around to score as the only Wabash run so far. First pitch off speed, but a strike. It's 0-1. Pickoff move to first, but safe.
Well, that error by Sturzman, a rare one for the Fighting Irish, have only committed 35 errors this season. And they have also finished in the top 3 nationally in fielding percentage in each of the last 2 years.
That pitch from Dittman inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. None of these teams here on a fluke. All of them deserve their spot playing sound baseball throughout the year. Which I think when a team makes an error in the regionals just makes it that much more odd. So fly ball into right center field. Torno and Fling giving chase. Torno will make the catch. Long throw to first. But Jumonville will be back safe. He was off on the pitch. But there's 2 out now, and he'll have to hold that first. And you heard the PA announcer Dave Van Giesen say right there, shortstop Eric Chavez now digging into the batter's box. Singled his first time up. First pitch from Dittman. Can't snap off the curveball. It's 1-0. Fastball at the knees, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, Dittman is actually a utility player. He is the Scots' number 3 starter this year. He also sports the 2nd lowest ERA in his conference. And when he's not on the mound, he's actually playing third base. Offensively, he is hitting .331, and he sports a .961 fielding percentage. So expect to see him with the bat later in this tournament.
One-two count on Eric Chavez with 2 outs. The pitch. The ground ball over to first base. Crum will have it easily for out number 3. The Little Giants got it right this time. Little Giants get a man on, but can't bring him in, and we'll head to the bottom of inning number 4. Still a 4-1 game. And don't you touch that clicker or swipe away from this YouTube channel, because we'll be right back for more NCAA tournament action here on ACTV. Heart of the order due up for Wooster. So they look to extend this 4-1 lead here in the bottom of inning number 4, and it's the shortstop Michael Wolanski up to bat. 1 for 2 so far. An RBI single his last time up, and he'll take that one right in the left bicep. The leadoff man is aboard with a hit by pitch. So now stepping up to the plate, it's the designated hitter Dan Harwood. Struck out the last time up to end that second inning, but he also has a 2 RBI single to his name today. Roberts worked out of that bases loaded jam the last time, and a strong pickoff move, and they got him at first. Brian Roberts gets Wolanski. Bit of a protest there, but it's a out number 1 is the Wooster coach will come out to argue. That's the legendary coach Tim Petterini.
There's a close play down there at first base. A nice job by Blevins. That throw a bit up the line. He actually dove. The throw took him in to the runner. The first base umpire says he's out. Go ahead, Robbie.
I'm going to say Coach Petterini's protest will come to an end. So out number 1, base is now empty. Designated hitter Dan Harwood still waiting for that first pitch of the at-bat. First pitch, a strike, hits that bottom left corner of the strike zone. It's 0-1. There's a ground ball to the first baseman, Crum. He'll get it on the hop and step on first for out number 2. Excuse me, I got the wrong chart again. The first baseman, Blevins. I'll get it.
He'll get it. First day.
I'll get it by the end of the tournament.
First day. Regardless, there's 2 outs now.
It's very true, and up now is that same first baseman I misspoke of. It's Garrett Crum. 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. See, I was just foreshadowing this at-bat. So there's a strike, belt high, 1 ball and 1 strike. There's a line drive into left field, a base hit for Garrett Crum with 2 outs. So that'll bring up the right fielder, Drew Torno. 1 for 1 so far, doubled his first time up, later walked back in the 3rd inning and would score that 3rd Wooster run. Excuse me, 4th Wooster run. Now I'm getting my R's mixed up. Well, me and Cody had a heck of a time trying not to say Wooster, which for you Wooster fans, we know that probably grinds your gears, so we are trying our best to stay the course and not slip up.
And if we have,
we apologize. A big swing and a miss there from Torno. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Been working with your SID director, Kevin, who's been helping us with these names.
Very good man. Glad to have him here today. As that one fouled off towards 223. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Torno.
As we are glad to have all 8 schools' SID directors here. Had the privilege of meeting them and talking with them a bit. Like we said in the first game we did, a lot of new teams that we need to get used to, a lot of new faces.
I think that's the greatest thing about this tournament is we get to see all of these great programs that we haven't had a chance to see because you only really play the teams in your conference unless you're on a spring trip, but don't often get to see those games. 2-2 on Torno. The pitch from Roberts. He gets him fishing for strike 3. Wooster leaves a man on, and we'll head to the top of the 5th. Still 4-1. And we'll be back with more Mideast Regional action on ACTV. Tyler Downing set to lead things off here in the top of inning number 5. 4-1. Fighting Scots lead the Little Giants in a rematch. The NCAA championship game. First pitch from Dittman, up and out for ball 1.
The score says 4-1, but Wabash pitcher Roberts doing a great job of working out of several jams, as Wooster has left 7 men on base through 4 innings.
That foul ball hits a post, and a little bit of dirt rained down on us. That really hasn't happened until the playoffs started, and we've just been getting showered relentlessly. He swings right through that curveball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Also stirred up a probable bee's nest up in the poles, so if you hear screams, it's probably somebody getting stung by a bee. As Downing swings through that pitch once again, and it's a first batter strikeout to start the 5th inning. Second strikeout of the day for Dittman, and that will bring up the third baseman, Henry Wanamuller, who fouls that one on the left side. Wanamuller struck out his first time up. That one hits the outer black. 0-2 on Wanamuller. Can't find the black on that one. It's 1-2. Dittman continues to paint the corners. 1-2 pitch. Gets him swinging through that one. Again, it goes to the backstop. Gale will hold on to it. 4th strikeout of the day for Dittman. But for the second time today, the runner still ends up on first base.
Yeah, and where the first one hit off of Gale's shin guard, that one just goes right through the 5-hole. Didn't get the glove down. And Dittman will have to work out of some trouble again.
Wabash with a man on first and 1 out. We head back to the top of their lineup. The left fielder Jared Wolfe, 0 for 2 so far today. Struck out to start the game. He was the other one that reached on the strikeout. Flew out to left field back in the 3rd inning. Off to second is Wanamuller. There's a ground ball to second, and Sturzma will throw on to first for out number 2. The hit and run works, and Wanamuller now stands on second base. I'll bring up the second baseman, Sean Rodzinski. Line into a double play his first time up, but singled his last time. First pitch from Dittman. Hits the outside corner, 0-1. Jinski sends a pop-up on the infield. Pitcher Dittman calling for it, and he flashes the leather like he would at third base for out number 3. So Wabash gets a man on. Once again, can't drive him in, and we'll head to the bottom of the 5th. Still a 4-1 Wooster lead. And we'll be right back with more NCAA tournament baseball here on ACTV. Heart of the order due up for Wooster. Starting with the Fighting Scots right fielder Andrew Jumonville. Pitch from Roberts. Strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. 8 hits so far for Wooster. And another fastball. This one inside, 2-1. Pitch to Dan Gale. Hits the outside black. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That one through the legs of Aldridge. Count now runs full, 3-2. Roberts in his sophomore campaign through the second no-hitter in Wabash history, when he blanked Wittenberg over 7 innings for a 4-0 victory. And he rings up Gale looking, window shopping, but didn't see anything he liked, and there's 1 down. Second strikeout in a row and 6th of the day. So I'll bring up the left fielder, Nick Strasbaugh. RBI single his last time up. There's a line drive down the line and fair for a base hit, maybe even more. Strasbaugh hits the bag going for second. The throw from Wolfe. And Strasbaugh will take back what he thought and end up on first. Long single and probably a wise move.
And ropes that one right down the left field line. It hits that angled fence right by the foul line. And Wolfe does a nice job of getting over there, makes the strong throw into second to keep him at 1.
So man on with 1 out. So number 9 hitter Harry Whitworth Dukes up to bat. Single and a hit by pitch. Oh, watch the slider outside for ball 1. Sends a fly ball into left field. Wolfe has it measured. Will make the catch for out number 2 as Strasbaugh stays put at first. Back to the top of the Wooster lineup, the second baseman, Jake Sturzma. 1 for 2 so far. A hit by pitch, a single, struck out his last time up. Pitch from Roberts, strike at the knees, 0-1. Another hit by pitch. This one gets him right between the shoulder blades. Now 2 on with 2 outs.
Roberts now looking to strand runners 8 and 9. That pitch, when he wanted on the inside, looks like it just got away from him. He's not happy.
4th hit batsman of the day for Wooster. 2nd of the day for Sturzma. And outside, ball 1 to the center fielder, Jake Fling. Another one hangs just low. 2 balls in, no strikes.
Big hole on the right side with Rodzinski shading over at second. You got to think a ground ball through that hole will probably score the runner at second.
Instead, he locates that fastball inside, 2-1. Pitch from Roberts. Outside, 3-1. There's a ground ball over to the third baseman, Wannemuller. Throwing to first for out number 3. So Wooster gets a couple on, but leaves them stranded, and we'll head to the top of inning number 6. Still a 4-1 ball game. And we'll see if the Little Giants can start carving into the lead. We'll be right back with more tournament baseball here on ACTV. It's a good time here at Nicolay Field when they play the Jackson 5. Really any other time. Top of the 6th inning, 4-1 Worcester lead. It's the right fielder Andrew Jumonville up to bat. Now I said that he was the leadoff man the last inning. That was just foreshadowing once again. It's my gift. He sends a fly ball into left field, but foul. Excuse me, I was wrong either way. It's the catcher, Bryce Aldridge. Apparently I just can't keep score today. I wrote P and then I wrote P1 right below that. So I guess if Aldridge pops out to the catcher, or excuse me, not the catcher, the pitcher, Dittman, that was just even more foreshadowing. So he sends a tapper down the third base line. They'll wait for it to roll foul, but instead a swinging bunt by Aldridge puts the leadoff man aboard.
Really the only thing you can do there if you're Gale. Aldridge, decent speed for a backstop, so you weren't going to throw him out.
So now it's the right fielder, Andrew Jumonville. As Dittman once again works from the stretch. First pitch, outside, 1-0. Jumonville 0 for 2 so far, grounded out to third base, reached on an error his last time up, but would have to stay put at first. And a delayed steal, but it's going to be a foul ball as Aldridge took off, stopped for just a second, and then continued his stride.
Might have been a hit and run on there. Anytime the runner takes off and looks in at the plate in either his third or fourth step, that tells you that he's looking to pick up the ball. And that's what you want to do on the hit and run.
One and one is the count on Jumonville. Pitch from Dittman. Ground ball over to the left side. Wolanski over for one. Relay. Got him. 6-4-3 double play. So with two down now, that will bring up the first baseman, Jackson Blevins. Third double play turn today by Wooster. Oh, one pitch from Chandler Dittman. That one sails outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Fouled back out of play. 1 and 2 now on Jackson Blevins. That one right back up the box, and that's going to be through for a base hit. Wolanski with a nice diving attempt. The Little Giants get a man on with 2 outs.
Just a hanging breaking ball on the 2-strike pitch. Probably not where Dittman wanted it. Blevins just serves it right up into center.
So that'll bring up designated hitter Matthew Anay. 1 for 2 so far with a single and a fly out to right field. That one yanked down the line, but just foul. That one fouled back towards 223. Monet quickly in a hole, 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pitch from Dittman. That one misses just low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner off for second base. That one's in the turf. Blevins will be in standing up. Runner now in scoring position.
Dittman, 78 pitches so far, so still in good standing. Keeps going at the pace he will. He could go 7 or 8 deep.
The 2-2 runs inside as Ane has to bend out of the way of that one, and the count runs full. Payoff pitch for Dittman. It's a line drive into center field. That's going to fall for a base hit. Blevins is going to hit the bag at third and score easily. And Wabash cuts the lead in half. RBI single by Matthew Ane makes it a 4-2 ball game.
It's another pitch middle that the Wabash batter does not try to do too much with. That time it was Ane who just hits it back right where it was pitched up the box. The lead is now cut to 2.
I'll bring up the number 7 hitter, Eric Chavez. 1 for 2 so far today. That was the Little Giants' 7th hit of the ball game. Another line drive, but this one's going to end up in the glove of Fling for out number 3, but not before Wabash cuts the lead in half. We'll head to the bottom of inning number 6, 4-2 game. Keep it tuned right here to ACTV. Bottom of inning number 6 here in game number 2 of the NCAA Mideast Regional. Wooster with a 4-2 lead over Wabash. It's a first pitch strike to the shortstop, Michael Wilansky. Wilansky 1 for 2 so far today. He gets tied up on that pitch. Cooking a hole now, 0-2.
Roberts enters this inning with 100 pitches. So Coach Martin will try to milk at least one more inning out of him.
He's given up 9 hits so far, but he's grinded through every single inning, and that's just what you want to see out of your pitcher. Worked himself out of a couple jams, and he dusts Wilansky off there with the fastball, 1 down.
Well, he's left 10 Wooster runners on base so far. And that was his 5th strikeout of the day.
So up now for the Fighting Scots is the designated hitter, Dan Harwood.
Excuse me, 8th strikeout of the day.
Oh, 1 pitch from Roberts. Sails way outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1 was a ground ball right back to the mound, but happy birthday for Brian Roberts, and he'll flip on to first for out number 2. A nice play out there by the pitcher. So 2 down now. That'll bring up Garrett Crum. He's 2 for 3 so far today, 2 singles. The first pitch fastball runs inside. This time he goes with the curveball and just to hit the inner black. 1 ball and 1 strike. Offering from Roberts. Crum thought about it, holds up, 2-1. There's a high chopper on the left side of the infield. Wanamueller with a great throw on to first base. And for the first time today, the Wooster Fighting Scots go down in order. 1, 2, 3 ends the 6th. We'll head to the top of the 7th, a 4-2 Wooster lead. We'll see if Wabash can start cutting into it. Keep it tuned right here to ACTV. Top of the 7th inning here at Nicolay Field, 4-2 Wooster lead. And new catcher for the Fighting Scots, that's Harrison Walls behind the dish now. Leading off for the Little Giants, it's number 35, Tyler Downing. Wabash sent 9 men to the plate the last inning, able to tack on another run to cut the lead in half. And they look to keep it going here as Downing hits a fly ball deep into left field, but Strasbaugh under it for out number 1. So I'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Henry Wanamueller. 0 for 2 so far today, 2 strikeouts, but reached first on his last one after the pass ball by Gale. And that first pitch from Dittman takes a little off of it for strike 1. Hard fouled on the third base side. 0-2 now on Wanamueller. The 0-2. Just a bit outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, as we mentioned earlier, Robbie, really a tale of 2 different cities, as Wabash is making their 2nd regional appearance, whereas Wooster is making their 30th Division III tourney appearance.
Well, as we said earlier, these 2 teams met in the NCAA final. Wabash took the championship. So these 2 teams definitely have some history between them. What do you think? A win here, do you think that trumps the championship?
I mean, it's tough to beat a team 3 times in a row. So the fact that they've held Wooster to 4 runs in this contest, especially with the pressure that they've put on Roberts, he's done a great job of grinding through this game. And really, they're still within 2 runs. Anything can happen within the next 3 innings. But Wooster gets an at-large bid. Even though they lose the tournament, they went into their tournament ranked 2nd. So for Wabash, the only way they were going to get in as a 4 seed in that tournament was to beat Wooster, and they did twice in a row.
Wadamuller will send that one into center field, but a nice running catch by Fling out there makes it 2 down. Head back to the top of the Wabash order. It's the left fielder Jared Wolfe up to bat. First pitch hits the outer black. No balls in, 1 strike. Just below the knees, 1-1. Wolfe 0 for 3 so far today. Fly out, ground out, and a strikeout. He waits on that curveball, sends it the opposite way. Strasbaugh running in, but it's going to find its way to the Fighting Scots bullpen. Take this time to thank you all for tuning in to ACTV for this NCAA Regional. Student run, student made. Everything you are seeing here is done by Adrian College students, including me and Cody, who are seniors of Adrian College, as Wolfe swings through that curveball right there to end the inning. Like we said, everything you see here done by the communication students. So any encouragement, or excuse me, you don't really have to encourage us. You can bash us if you want, but any constructive criticism, any things that you think that we could do better, or things that we say that don't quite make sense, don't be afraid to comment below. Make sure you keep the vulgarities out, and we'd love to hear your feedback. Once again, thank you for tuning in to this edition of NCAA Baseball. That's the 7th inning stretch, which means we'll do it in the box too. Get yourself some snacks, maybe some hot dogs grilled and some refreshments, and we'll be right back here on ACTV. Welcome back to the bottom of the 7th inning here in game number 2. 6-7-8 due up for Wooster, starting with the right fielder Drew Torno. We got our stretch up here in the press box. We hope you did as well at home. And that bunt right in front of the plate. Strong throw by Aldridge for out number 1. He's made some great plays back there today.
Well, his throw down to second before the start of the inning, I had actually turned to you and told you what a strong throw it was, and then he makes another one there to retire Torno on the bunt. Gets a little too much on top of that one, and he just barehands it and fires to first.
So that'll bring up the catcher, Dan Gale, who hits a hard ground ball over to the shortstop, Chavez. Long throw, but he'll get him in a quick 2 outs for the Little Giants. So up now is the left fielder, Nick Strasbaugh. 2 for 3 with 2 singles and an RBI so far. Roberts looks to stifle this Wooster lineup for the 2nd inning in a row. First pitch picked off the turf by Aldridge for ball 1. Another one. That one falls just below the knees. 2-0. Wabash has scored 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 6th. Wooster 2 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd. Have been unable to score since then. (3-0) in the turf again, and Strasbaugh takes 4 straight balls to get a 2-out walk. Will be a quick mound visit for the Little Giants. Action brewing in the bullpen. It looks like Roberts will stay in, at least for the time being.
That's Coach Jake Martin out there on the mound. His 2nd season with the Little Giants baseball program. Coach Martin actually won the NCAA tournament when he was in charge of the DePauw University program back in 2014, which made him the first coach in conference history to lead 2 different programs to an NCAA title.
Looking to lead Wabash all the way to the World Series now, but they have some work to do. Down by 2, only a couple innings left. Right now it's the 3rd baseman, Harry Whitworth Dukes, up to bat. First pitch from Roberts, in there for strike 1. Strasbaugh, short lead over at first base. And he's jammed on that one, but muscles it right back up the middle for a 2-out base hit. The Fighting Scots now have men on first and second. Another timeout called, and it looks like Brian Roberts' day might be done at this point. And it is, as Coach Martin takes the ball, and we'll let the new pitcher warm up, find out who this mystery man is, what he's about, and if he can keep those runners on first and second. We'll be right back with more NCAA tournament baseball here on ACTV. Welcome back to this edition of NCAA Tournament Baseball on ACTV. Bottom of the 7th inning. Wooster, a 4-2 lead, and now pitching for Wabash. It's number 9, Shawn Smith.
Well, Smith has 33 and 2/3 innings under his belt. He owns a 5.08 ERA, 23 strikeouts and 21 walks.
He's inherited 2 men on base. And a first pitch fastball to the leadoff man, Jake Sturzma. And it's 0-1. There's a line drive on a 1-hopper to Rodzinski. He'll flip on to second. And Chavez beat Strasbaugh there by half a step to end the inning. We'll head to the top of the 8th. 2-4 Wooster. And Wabash needs to get the bats going here. We'll see if they can do it. We'll be right back here on ACTV. Two, 3, 4 due up for Wabash to start the 8th inning, down by 2 runs. First pitch from Chandler Dittman, off speed, rolled foul on the third base line as Whitworth Dukes hit the deck for that one. Rodzinski, a double play his first time up, singled his second time up, and a pop out his last time up. So wardrobe malfunction over at third base. Whitworth Dukes taking the belt off and everything in the Wabash dugout. Definitely letting them hear it right now. Rodzinski has gotten good swings on the ball today. I think mostly he's just been unlucky. That pop out just got under it, the hard line drive for the double play. So even though he's only 1 for 3, he's definitely put 3 balls in play very well.
He came in today with a 345 average. And being the 2-hitter, he knows how to get the job done. As Whitworth Dukes gives the thumbs up, his belt is back on and we are ready to play ball once again.
A little bit of a fashion show here at Nicolay Field. Never know what you're going to get in a live baseball game. Rodzinski fouls that one out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. Pitch from Dittman. Outside, 1-2.
Dittman was a first-team selection for both third base and for utility for the all NCAC team.
Not very often you see a player get 2 of them. He either get third base or utility, so a strong season for him.
He's proving why he got the utility pick. 5 strikeouts so far today, only 2 runs and 7 hits.
There's a line drive into left field. That's going to fall in front of Strasbaugh. It's a leadoff single for Sean Rodzinski. I'll bring up the catcher Bryce Aldridge. Singled his last time up. Light action brewing in the Wooster bullpen, but nothing too serious right now. First pitch to Aldridge. Ball outside, 1-0.
Well, Dittman just passed the century mark with his pitch count.
A warning throw over to first base, keeps him honest. Another pickoff move. Safe at first. I've noticed he'll do a soft one over to first, and then almost immediately he'll put a little more mustard on it.
It's kind of what Max Scherzer of the Nationals does with his pickoff moves. Not only does he vary his looks, but it varies the moves, and that's going to throw the base runner off even more when you have 2 or 3 different pickoff moves.
2-0 is the count on Bryce Aldridge. Pitch, swings through that curveball, 2-1. Another pickoff move to first. Well, whoever wins this game will play Shenandoah tomorrow at 4:30. The loser will go on to play Marietta at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So not only if you lose do you head to the elimination bracket, but you have to wake up early as well. Two 1 to Aldridge. Hits that one into center field. Fling running in and will make the catch for out number 1. Rodzinski will head back to first. So up now is the right fielder Andrew Jumonville. 0 for 3 so far. Grounded into a double play his last time up. Chandler Dittman trying to get through 8 strong innings. First pitch to Jumonville. Low and outside for ball 1. Harrison Walls gives the sign. The 1-0. Another one hit into left center field. Fling giving chase. Will run it down in the gap. Rodzinski off on the pitch will have to retreat. So now 2 down, still a man on first. Well, you heard the PA announcer David Van Giesen say it. It's number 20, Jackson Blevins, up to bat. Single and a run scored his last time up. First pitch from Dittman. Hard line drive up the box for a base hit. Roginski will hold up at second, and Wabash now have 2 on with 2 outs. So I'll bring up the designated hitter, Matthew Ane. Tying run on first base for the Little Giants. First pitch inside. Runners will hold, and it's ball 1. Roginski on second base, Blevins on first. Step off from Dittman. 1-0 pitch. Ground ball over to the right side. Sturzma has it and will throw on to first for out number 3. So Wabash gets 2 men on but can't bring any across, and we'll head to the bottom of inning number 8. Still a 4-2 Wooster lead. We'll see if they can add some insurance runs, and we'll be right back with more NCAA Regional Tournament Baseball here on ACTV. Ryan Thomas coming in, trying to stifle the Wooster lineup. 4-2 lead as they head to the bottom of the 8th inning. And Cody, what do you have on Thomas?
Well, Thomas has appeared in 10 games so far this year. He has a 6 ERA, striking out 24 batters and walking 8. That's all in 21 innings of work.
2-3-4 due up for the Fighting Scots, starting with the center fielder Jake Fling, who's 0 for 3 so far. The 0-1 pitch from Thomas. Big cut there by Fling, and it's quickly 0-2. The 0-2 swings through that one, and Thomas comes out fire and gas. Quick 1 out.
The old good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Brings the heat that second pitch and then just drops the breaker on the outside part of the plate. Flings just swings right through it.
I'll bring up the 3-hitter, Michael Wilansky. 1 for 3 so far today. One-0 pitch from Thomas. That one sails to the backstop. 2 balls and no strikes. Second baseman Rodzinski playing a few steps into the outfield grass. As that fastball from Thomas just misses. 3 balls and no strikes. The offering from Ryan Thomas finds the strike zone. 3-1. That one in the turf. So Wilansky will draw the 1-out walk, and that will bring up the designated hitter, Dan Harwood. Harwood 1 for 4 today. 2 RBI single his first time up, has been hitless since. Now watch a fastball low for ball 1. That one finds the outer black. Harwood doesn't necessarily agree, but the count's even. One pitch. He held his swing. No, says the third base umpire Lyle Travis, and Harwood quickly in a hole now, 1-2. Pitch from Thomas. There's a ground ball over to second base. Rodzinski to second for 1. Relay. Got him. 4-6-3 double play ends the inning. It's time to pay the piper if you're Wabash College, down 4-2. You think they can make the comeback? We'll find out next here on ACTV. Last call for the Little Giants. They trail 4-2 here in the 9th inning. And pitcher Chandler Dittman looking to complete what he started. First pitch off speed in there for strike one to the shortstop Eric Chavez. 7-8-9 due up for Wabash. The 0-1 fouls that one off. 0-2. Chavez 1 for 3 to this point. Singled his first time up. Also has grounded out and flew out to the center fielder. The 0-2 outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's the 1-2, and he goes swinging for that one. Wells blocks it and throws on to first, 1 down. Up now is the center fielder Tyler Downing. 1 for 3 so far. RBI double his first time up. He fouls that one straight to the backstop, strike 1.
That strikeout of Chavez was Dittman's 6th of the day.
Here's the 0-1. Off speed, he'll tap that one to third base. Whitworth Dukes with a nice running throw. Wabash down to their final out.
There's some commotion going down in the Wooster dugout. Not sure what they're upset about. I saw Dittman talking with the home plate umpire. So we'll have to see post-game what that maybe was about.
Wanamuller hits that one up against the wall. He'll coast into second. Wabash not done yet. 2 out double by Henry Wanamuller. Dittman now has to face the top of the Little Giants order. It's the left fielder Jared Wolfe up to bat. Before that happens, a mound visit. Well, Coach Petterini was livid when he came out of the dugout. They were talking about being in the line, so he might have been arguing that Wabash runners were not running in the baseline on their way down to first.
But I think you got it right there, Robbie. I think they might be kind of shading towards the middle of the bag, and you can see where Wooster might be upset. Doesn't want his first baseman to get injured. The possible base runner maybe stepping on his ankle or hitting him with an elbow.
So with 2 outs now, that will bring up the left fielder Jared Wolfe. He represents the tying run. First pitch from Dittman. Hangs a bit high. 1 ball and no strikes.
Whitman now at 118 pitches in the contest.
One 1-0 pitch to Wolfe. He hits a high chopper over to first base. And that will do it as Dittman covers the bag, and Wooster wins the rematch by a score of 4-2. They will head on to the winner's bracket. Cody, what did you see in this game today?
Just an excellent outing by Dittman, pitching in and out of trouble. A nice 9th inning, even with a high pitch count. And Wabash does a nice job. Wooster, a good team. Again, they are ranked 4th in the nation. It is tough to beat a team 3 times in a row. Only lost by 2 runs, so they looked very nice out there. Roberts, a gutsy performance. He went 6+ innings, 6 2/3 actually, pitching in and out of trouble, left several Wooster base runners on base. So a few things that both teams can work out. Wooster, a lot of base hits, but struggled to get that key hit that would break the game open. And really, Wabash could do the same thing. They left a few guys on, lost by 2, so timely hitting might be a thing that will come up with these teams as the tournament progresses.
Yeah, don't count Wabash out. Just because they're headed to the elimination bracket does not mean they have what it takes to make it back in. As you saw, they just took on the #1 seed with grit and only lost by 2 runs. Like we said, this regional is absolutely stacked.
Really just a base hit away from tying things up. Just couldn't get it, but a 1 versus an 8 seed, and it was a 2-run game, so both teams looking great in the opening contest. Again, just timely hitting is an area that they might have to work on as they play their next 2 games.
So Wooster will face Shenandoah tomorrow in game number 7. That will take place at 4:30. Meanwhile, Wabash will take on Marietta in the elimination bracket. Whoever loses that goes home. That game will be at 10 a.m. bright and early. We'll see you right here on ACTV for both of those games. Up next on the broadcast schedule, it is Ithaca taking on La Roche. That game will be at 4:30. Me and Cody back on the call for that. Thank you for tuning in today. This has been Robbie Alexander with my colleague Cody Alexander. Wooster takes it by a score of 4-2. And until next time, keep on tuning in to ACTV.